So today I've got a P38. This is a original German-made P38 dating to World War II. So this was made at the Spreewerke Factory. It's got the CYQ code right here, the factory code, and it's an E block. So this means it was manufactured in 1943. So very nice. Got our stamps here on the back. And overall it's in pretty good condition, so not a whole lot bad to say about it. But we are going to disassemble it and clean it. So first I'll show you how to disassemble the P38. So the first thing we want to do is make sure it's unloaded, but we'll also go ahead and put it on safe. So we'll put it on safe there, pull it back, and of course there's no round. It's completely good to go. So we'll go ahead and drop the mag. So on the P38s, the mag release is at the bottom of the magazine, so it's a little toggle right here. And the cool thing about this, a lot of people complain about them. It's just a European thing, but the good thing is, say you're, out in the field, or like in the winter offensive, in the early 40s, a lot of times they'd be wearing those heavy gloves, so it'd be hard to push a button. Whereas this mag release, you could simply just do that with your hand and it'll come right off. So that's the handy thing about it. But we'll go ahead and remove the magazine. So we'll sit that down. Okay. So we got our gun on safe. We got our magazine removed. So now there is a lever right here, and this is your takedown lever. So we are just going to push this all the way forward. So make sure it's in place right there, and we should be able to go ahead and pop this guy right here. So pop that, and boom, comes right off. So good to go there. So now we got our slide and barrel removed. So we'll sit this down. So now that we have the slide and barrel removed, we want to remove the barrel from the slide. So to do that, on the back right here, there is a little button you can push. So otherwise, this is not going to come out because this is a locking lug. So you have to push this button in order to get it out. So we'll just go ahead and push that, and then we should be able to simply pull this out. So now it is completely disassembled, and we'll get started on the cleaning. So I'm just going to do a very basic cleaning. So the first thing I want to do, though, because I'm going to be using this Ezots, which is a solvent, lubricant, and rust preventative. First thing I'm going to do is try to remove the oils that have previously been on the gun. So I probably won't get everything off, but I'm going to try to get off the majority of it. So I've just got some Q-tips. I'm just going to run this down in here and just try to remove some of the oils that were previously on it. You don't have to use this. You can use a rag or anything really. But this is good to get into the hard to get to places because I use Q-tips all the time on cleaning. It's very good on guns. So. So now we'll go ahead and actually start the cleaning process. So first I'm going to put some of this Ezots on some pads and wipe down the parts before I hit them with the brush or the Q-tip. So you don't need a whole lot of this stuff. You know, just a little bit will do you good. So just take this and put a little bit on here. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. All right. Start here. We're just going to take it, start kind of wiping it down a little bit. Okay. So I'll just take this side and just run it through the barrel. All I'm doing here is getting it wet. So we'll do it again. Alrighty. So now I'll go ahead and just clean out the bore. Remember, when you're cleaning with a brush, make sure you go all the way through so it'll catch the brush as it comes back through. Alright, so now that this stuff has had a good amount of time to dry, I'd say it's been sitting out for about 45 minutes. We're good to go ahead and put a little bit of oil on it. So where you want to put the oil is where the parts, the metal parts, are coming into contact with each other. So any of the moving metal parts that come into contact with each other, you want a little bit of oil just to make sure you have good maneuverability. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just put a little bit on our patches here and wipe down some of those spots with the oil. For the most part, you can just put the oil on the patches, but there is, one or two spots that I will drop the oil into. So the place where I'm going to drop the oil directly in is right here on this locking block, because this is going to be moving a lot, and it's one of those places you can put a little bit of oil into so it gets down into here. So go ahead, we'll just take it and do a little drop. Okay, that should be plenty. So let's go ahead, we'll just wipe up the excess. Alright, so to reassemble the gun, we're going to take our barrel and just place it back onto the slide like so. It's going to go into these grooves right here and onto the slide. So we'll just take that, get it on there, and then we'll have to push this button in to get it further. Get it all the way in. Push the button. See if we can get it all the way. Okay, so that should be on there pretty good. Okay, so now that we have that, we are just going to put the slide back onto the gun. Pull our slide all the way back, and then we are just going to flip our takedown lever so that will stay in place. So we got that flipped. All right, let's push this up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now we're just going to do a function check. So take this off, pull our trigger, works. Let's check the decocker. So we'll pull this down, that works, and we'll rack it a few times. Don't have the magazine in yet. Check the decocker again. Whoop. There we go. Let's move that one again. Okay, one more time. Okay, now let's go ahead and slide a magazine in there. Make sure it holds open with the magazine. So, okay, the magazine's in. All right. So now we'll just put it back on there. And that is it. So that is how you disassemble, clean, and reassemble the P38.